Hi, second grade. I am so excited to bring you my first math video. I really miss teaching math, and I hope that some of you join me on office hours today too. Okay. Here is your goal for today's lesson. By the end of the lesson, I want you to be able to tell me, I can do this. I can represent arrays and distinguish rows and columns using math drawings. So what does that mean? Well, we've been practicing with our array drawings with groups of a certain number. Now, all that we're adding today is the vocabulary, rows and columns. So we're going to start with that first. As I said, you need to know the difference between rows and columns. So rows are going to be horizontal or across. When you hear that word row, I want you to think horizon. I want you to think horizontal or across. Columns, on the other hand, are vertical. You can see that I have 2 rows here and 3 columns. So those columns are going up and down. Now, for today's lesson, those 2 words are really important. So if you need to go back and review these words, please do. You're also going to need some different objects, as well as some paper and pencil. So I'd like you to take a minute now to think about what items you are going to use. In this lesson, they recommend beans. If you don't have beans, and you'd want the dried ones, you might use small hair clips, paper clips, Legos, any small object that's really easy to move around. Okay, so go ahead and pause now and make sure you have what you need. With your partner, me, please show me 3 groups of 5 on your board or on your paper. You might ask, what direction am I drawing these? So for the first one here, let's say that a group is a column. So I want 3 columns of 5. Should the column be vertical or horizontal? Yeah, that's right. The column should be vertical, up and down. So go ahead and make your 3 columns of 5. Pause here. Now that you've made those and you have them sitting on your sheet of paper, I'd like you to add a line between each column. This is going to help us to keep the array organized, and it'll help us to see each column as a group or a unit of 5. Take a look at what I've done. I have 3 groups of 5 here, 3 columns with 5 in each column. How many columns did you make? Check your work. Let's go back to mine here. I had 3 columns with 5 in each. How many beans or how many objects did you have in each column? You should have 5. Double check and count those. Now that we know that we've done it correctly, let's make a repeated addition sentence to find the total. 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals 15. All right, now that we've got that, let's try to organize our items in a different way. I would like you to now, on your boards or on your papers, set up 3 groups of 5, but this time, I want groups to be your rows. So I want 3 rows of 5. Pause now and make 3 rows of 5. Here's what yours should have looked like. 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows. Knowing that our rows are horizontal or across. You'll notice that I also have my line drawn in here to organize my groups. Now, what addition sentence can we use to find the total here? That's right, 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals 15. So here I have my drawing with my repeated addition. 5 plus 5 plus 5. So what is our total for 3 columns of 5? Yes, 15. And what's our total for 3 rows of 5? 15. So how are 3 columns of 5 and 3 rows of 5 related? Take a minute to think about that. They both have the same repeated addition, 5 plus 5 plus 5, and they both equal 15. So those are 2 different ways for you to organize those objects. Now that we've done that, let's draw our arrays. Now, if the drawing's a little bit tricky for you or you feel like you're using a lot of paper here, go ahead and keep using your objects. But if I want you to make an array of 4 columns of 2, what do I draw first? Go ahead and follow me as I do it. I'm going to draw on my box here. 1 column of 2. So if I'm drawing in terms of columns, I want to draw each column one at a time. So column 1 has 2 objects. Can you finish it from here? Try it out. Pause and come back when you're ready. All right, so if you've tried it out on your own, you can follow along and make changes if you have something different, or you can just watch me as I do it. So I already had my first column. Now I'm drawing this line to keep them organized. Second column, draw my line to keep organized. Third column, again drawing my line to keep organized. And my fourth column. So I have 4 columns, or 4 groups of 2. All right, we have our 4 columns of 2. What do the vertical lines remind us of? It might remind you a little bit of our tape diagram. Now for this turn-in talk, you can go ahead and just say it aloud. What repeated addition sentence can we use to find the total here? Write it down. Now let's switch it. I want you to show me this time 4 rows of 2 x's. And then I want you to write an equation to find the total. Pause and draw or organize your objects. All right, here's how your objects should look, remembering that we're using this line to help separate. 1 row of 2, 2 rows of 2, 3 rows of 2, 4 rows of 2 x's. What's your equation? 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 8. What was the total for 4 columns of 2? It was 8. And now, what's the total for 4 rows of 2? Yeah, also 8. So these are 2 different ways that I can organize my objects in 4 groups of 2. Now I'm going to ask you to try drawing or try organizing without my help. Here's your turn. I want you to draw me an array with 3 columns of 4 x's. Don't forget the vertical lines in between each column. Write a repeated addition equation below your array to find the total. So everyone needs to pause now and do that. So how many columns did you draw? Do you have 3 columns? How many x's did you draw in each column? There should be 4 x's in each of your 3 columns. Now, each column is a group or unit of 4. What repeated addition equation can we use to find the total? You should have 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals 12. Now, what would happen if you added one more column of 4? Do that. Add another column of 4 to your array. Now what does your equation look like? Okay, let's read them together. You should have 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals 16. Okay, let's try something else here. What do you think would happen if you erased 2 columns of 4? Go ahead and try it. But don't forget about the equation. So you're going to want to rewrite that below. Pause and fix this. So what happened? Yeah, our total is much smaller. So if I've taken away 2 of those columns, let's read that new equation or repeated addition sentence together. I now have 4 plus 4 equals 8. Okay, last one for you to try. This time, I want you to do an array with 4 rows of 3 X's. Don't forget to draw the lines there, the horizontal lines between your rows. Underneath it, I want you to write a repeated addition equation to find the total. Okay, check your addition. Should have 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 12. Did you get it? Great. If not, try going back and rewatching the video on rows and columns. Go start back at the beginning and try it one more time. We're about to do some practice here. All right, now I need you to show me what you know or show me what you learned. Here's a question to try it out. Bobby puts 3 rows of tiles in his kitchen to make a design. He lays 5 tiles in each row. First thing I'd like you to do is draw a picture of those tiles. Now, I'd like you to write a repeated addition equation to solve for the total number of tiles that Bobby used. Join me on office hours to share your answers or post a picture on Seesaw. Okay. Last thing for you to get to do today is to work on that sprint video that I posted. So print out your lesson 7 sprint and get practicing.